Good morning from the heart of New York City. There's no better way to start the day than a peaceful walk through Central Park. I have seen Central Park in all of the movies, in the videos. Friends, Gossip Girl, Made in Manhattan, just to name a few. And I've never actually been here, so it's super interesting to be in this 843-acre oasis. That's not just what ChatGPT is telling me, the lungs of Manhattan, but also a living piece of history designed by Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux in 1858. People were jogging, strolling, and just enjoying the scenery. So I sat down for, I would say, a good half an hour, just taking in the sights and people watching, looking, and possibly talking to the swans and the ducks that are in the river, and just gazing into the Manhattan skyline. Because again, it's something that you see on the telly, but you never actually think that you're going to be here in real life. After a walk around Central Park, I went to Penguin Random House to meet Lydia. Lydia I connected with in the UK, and then she moved to New York, so I checked in before I was coming, as I have been doing during my experience here, just to make sure that I was connecting with people, networking through New York. We had peanut butter and jelly, and I had turmeric milk from a local cafe before I strolled independently through the rest of New York City. And obviously it has an abundance of local bakeries. So I went on TripAdvisor and Google and just tried to find some really cool bakeries that I could taste my way around. And there was this one that had it had a mix of like a donut and a croissant with strawberry filling, and it was Italian owned. So I thought, why not give that a go? And then from there, I literally just walked just for miles and headed into New York's most vibrant neighborhoods, Chinatown and Little Italy, because I hadn't really had the experience of going into these areas yet. They're steeped in history, culture, and loads of flavors, of course. So there's street vendors, there's iconic landmarks, there's the cultural blend of Little Italy and Chinatown coming together. And I didn't do much except spend a lot of money on pizza. It was about $6 a slice. Go into various shops and try to buy some goods, and then my camera actually stopped working, but I went to Target and Walmart just to see if I could take some goodies home. After a whole day of walking around, I visited the Whitney Museum of Art, a cultural gem in the meatpacking district. Before I came to the USA, I reached out to different friends via WhatsApp groups and said, I'm going to New York, is there anything you'd recommend? And the Female Narratives Collective, which I'm a part of, the co-founder Tiana came back to me and said, look, the Whitney Museum on Fridays does free tickets and you should definitely see if you can get yourself some tickets. And I was like, well, not only do I love a museum, I love a freebie museum because that's what I'm used to in London. So I was able to get some tickets. The Whitney is home to some of the most important works of modern and contemporary American art, including the art made via AI, which is interesting given that we're in an AI epidemic right now. So there was an artist called Harold Cohen, I think his name was, and he was actually programming art installations in the 1900s, so just about 30 years ago, and the code would then generate art pieces by themselves, which was really interesting, especially when you're thinking of how AI is transforming different industries, is how it's transforming art.
So this is also an artwork which is created through an AI-induced software via a computer machine with abstract elements and fine details, with plotted painting to show three-dimensional knowledge base of the AI code that was written by Cohen. So apparently this is a code that was written in Python in 1972 by the artist called Mazes, and the output is always going to be a different piece of art because there's infinite outputs possible, where each piece of art will have open lines as if it was a maze, but it will never be duplicated. And ultimately the art itself is made through a AI first machine such as this.
Exciting.
Towards the end of the night, after strolling the Whitney Museum, making friends actually whilst I was in the museum too, and even doing a little bit of a arts and crafts exercise, I walked from the meatpacking district all the way back to Soho where my hotel was, so that was about 90 minutes, and found a family-owned Italian restaurant along the way where I just had pizza and tiramisu, and just enjoyed reminiscing my New York experience thus far. Because so many people ask me how much a day in New York might be, I think I spent about $30 on food, lunch, and just sightseeing. Obviously grabbing a couple of coffees along the way. I have to admit that watching my vlog back, I can be so much better on the camera, so that's something I'm going to improve going forward. So I apologize if I didn't capture everything, but the essence of it was a day around New York, really enjoying every single site, walking my way around New York, networking around New York, eating around New York, and just being a New Yorker in the simplest terms. So yes, around $30 is what I spent, and I would say that's probably the average of every day, and that doesn't include hotel costs, but it definitely does include food and maybe the odd transport here and there.